Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. UFC 269 is only a few weeks away, December 11th, and the main event is Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier for the lightweight title. And if you guys followed the channel at all, you've probably heard me mention multiple times that a specific outcome at UFC 269 could end up being an absolute disaster for the lightweight division come 2022. And there's been some other things that have come out today, and so I figured today was the day I was going to make a video about it. So you look at the main event, Dustin Poirier fighting Charles Oliveira for his lightweight title. I'm super excited for the fight. I've made a video about UFC 269 yesterday. You guys can go check it out. It's on the channel. But how can this fight and the potential outcome of this fight end up for absolute disaster in the lightweight division? And that is, I truly believe that if Dustin Poirier wins this title at UFC 269, I really believe there is a good chance. And I'm so disgusted that I even have to say this and that this is even a possibility. But there is a chance that Dustin Poirier's first title defense, if he does capture the belt at UFC 269, is against Conor McGregor. And I've talked about that for the past probably 2 months. I've mentioned it. Conor McGregor, there was a tweet that he put out today. I'm going to show that a little bit later in the video. But you just look at the division. You look at Conor McGregor, one of the biggest stars, if not the biggest star the UFC has ever had. And he's had favorable matchups in the past. He's gotten preferential treatment in the past. A lot of people thought he was kind of babied on his way up to a title. I mean, he fought Dennis Seaver to earn a featherweight title shot. And I know he ended up fighting technically Chad Mendes for an interim featherweight belt, but you get the point. Conor McGregor is a massive moneymaker for the UFC, even though he's won one fight since 2016. Since he beat Eddie Alvarez, he has one win on his resume. And that one win is not even at lightweight. So you look back and you look to, I think it was UFC 254, where Khabib fought Justin Gaethje, won the fight, and then retired in the octagon afterwards. And there was some talk. Dana White was trying to get Khabib Nurmagomedov to come back and defend his belt, but Khabib said, "No, I'm done. I'm retired." He had his father pass away, and his father was his coach. You all knew that. Immediately after that fight, and I feel like nobody really talks about this anymore, the media and the fans, particularly the Conor fanboys, said, well, there's no question about it. Just make UFC 257, which, if you guys don't remember, UFC 257 was the fight in January. It was a pay-per-view January 2021, and the main event was Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 2. And people were saying, make that for the vacant lightweight title. That only makes sense. The media was behind this, and a lot of fans were behind this. And Dana White was trying to coax Khabib to come back. I really think that Dana was really hanging on to, he wanted Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Conor McGregor 2. And he knew how much money that fight would potentially bring in. Well, anyway, fast forward, Dana did not make that fight for the vacant belt or the interim belt or whatever. And Dustin Poirier knocks Conor McGregor out in, I believe it was the second round. I don't remember. Either way, he stops him via TKO. And I honestly believe he was out cold. That was a KO. So after that fight, even, Dana was still trying to get Khabib to come back. But then he finally realized that Khabib Nurmagomedov is not coming back, and Khabib had given up the belt. Immediately, the MMA media and the MMA fans, a lot of them, not all of them, not me for sure, said, you know what? Let's make Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor 3 in July at UFC 264. Let's make it for the lightweight title. And I could not believe that people were suggesting that. You had Conor McGregor, who had won one fight since 2016. I know I've already mentioned that. And it wasn't even at lightweight. He has one win, and it was at 170 against Cowboy Cerrone. Cowboy Cerrone. I think it was absolutely ludicrous for people to even suggest that. I know Dustin Poirier had been kind of deserving. He was on a 2-fight win streak since losing to Khabib Nurmagomedov. He was the interim champion for a little bit there. But still, Conor had no business in any lightweight title fight at that point in time. Well, anyway, we know what happened in July. Conor breaks his leg, loses the fight. He was getting smashed up until that point. And as we sit right now, he's injured and he's out. And we're looking forward to UFC 269, where we're going to have Dustin Poirier get his title shot against Charles Oliveira. So Conor McGregor tweets out today, and I'll put it on the stream. I'm not going to read it all, but he basically said, I'm facing whoever the fuck has the lightweight title next. And, you can read the rest of it, but I would not doubt it. Conor McGregor's star power, just the value of his name on the head of a pay-per-view, there's a chance that the UFC gives it to him. And I really believe that it could happen if Dustin Poirier wins. They're going to do the fourth fight. Conor said, I only lost that third fight because I broke my leg. I was just about to start winning, which I think is a complete crock, but you get the point. People are actually clamoring for that fourth fight between him and Dustin Poirier. And if Dustin Poirier goes out there and stops Charles Oliveira, he's probably not going to fight till spring, summer of next year. And again, I'm not a doctor, but that kind of time frame kind of works for Conor McGregor to come back. And I don't think he should walk into a title shot, but the UFC says, you know what? With the timing and all this money we could make, they would possibly make this fight. And the reason I would be so disgusted with this, besides the fact of what I've already mentioned with Conor basically having no wins, is you look at the rankings right now, and you basically have three guys that could potentially be deserving of a title shot. You have Justin Gaethje, who just fought Michael Chandler, one of the best fights of the year at UFC 268. You have Beneil Dariush, who's on a nice little win streak right now. And you have Islam Makhachev, who's coming off that dominant performance against Dan Hooker, and he's on like a 9 or 10 fight win streak. So you have three guys available, basically, who are kind of deserving of a title shot for the winner of Poirier versus Charles Oliveira. But Conor McGregor, his star power could get him the title fight. And also, who knows? If, let's say, Conor isn't going to return till summer, fall, I don't know. That was a very, very serious injury. We seen Anderson Silva, I think it was a little over a year that he returned after his leg break. I don't remember exactly how long it was. But let's say Conor isn't going to fight till summer or fall of 2022. In that potential time, we could see Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier play out, regardless of who wins. We could see maybe the UFC books Islam Makhachev versus Justin Gaethje. The winner of that fight could fight Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier winner in maybe spring or summer. And then the UFC would say, well, there's nobody else in the division. Everyone else has already fought. Basically, from that standpoint, if they book all those fights. And then in fall, you could have the lightweight champion defending against a guy who, again, I repeat, has no lightweight wins since 2016. It would be an absolute shame. It'd be disgusting to the sport. I hope it doesn't happen. Conor McGregor needs to win a couple fights against legit contenders and earn his way back to a title shot. And even that, I don't believe is going to happen. If Conor comes back and even gets one win over Tony Ferguson or a Michael Chandler or even an RDA, I think that Conor will fight for a belt with one win. And I think it's disgusting. I love this sport, and I know that money is a factor in this sport, but the NFL doesn't take the two most popular teams and put them in the Super Bowl. That's not how it works. And I know MMA is different, the UFC is different than the NFL, but it just makes me disgusted that you could potentially have a guy who's not even the best in the world or even questioned to be the best in the world fighting for the world championship. I've looked over the top 10 multiple times, and this may be a hot take. Some people may bite my head off for saying this. I do not favor Conor to beat anybody in the top 10 other than maybe Dan Hooker, and that is it. I think he loses to Dustin, obviously. I think he loses to Charles Oliveira. I think he loses to Justin Gaethje. I think he loses to Beneil Dariush. He loses to Islam Makhachev. I think Chandler is winnable, but I think Chandler starches him. I think he loses to RDA. That's another fight that I think is a little closer. I think he probably loses to Tony Ferguson. That's another fight that I think Conor could win, but I would not pick him to beat Tony Ferguson right now. I think he could beat Dan Hooker, and I think he loses to Gregor Gillespie. And Conor's ranked number 9 currently in the lightweight division. So there you go. That's just my opinion on the whole lightweight division right now. If Conor McGregor gets a title shot in 2022, it's an absolute disaster, and I will be disgusted. And I literally think my head will pop off if I hear an announcement with Conor McGregor for a lightweight title shot in 2022. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, and thank you so much for watching.